Tom Roelens, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Greetings from Atlantis, Dubai.
For those who haven't met Tom yet, he is the managing director over in Dubai at the Atlantis, the one and only. It's a beautiful, beautiful heaven-looking resort, ultra luxury. And this is the first episode of the brand new podcast, Luxury Leaders. So, Tom, thank you for coming, and we're super excited to get to know you a little better and learn about Tom and what you've got cooking over there.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Well, it's a true pleasure, Brandon, to be part of this and to be the very first one in the series of the luxury leaders. And we're certainly on an extraordinary journey here at Atlantis in Dubai, um, and very happy that I was selected to be the very first one. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. Tell me how you got to where you are now a little bit. I know you came up through the four seasons. Tell me a little bit about how you got there and how you got chosen to be at the Atlantis. And the other thing also, while saying that, I want you to expand a little on how does someone coming up in similar situations like yours, how do they keep focus on their career, growing their career while still maintaining the day-to-day running the show?
Absolutely, absolutely, Brandon. So, well, I started off at a very, very young age back home in Belgium, where I started really in fine dining restaurants and had a passion for all things gastronomy and wine knowledge and so forth. And that's really kind of how my career started in the very beginning in one, two, three-star Michelin restaurants in Belgium and France, and initially in the kitchen and the pot wash actually, and so forth, and that's really where it all started, and then really you grow and learn every day, and then beyond that, I had an opportunity then to go to the front of the house and really delve into sommelier and really kind of take care in very classical fine dining restaurants of the guests, and so that's really how my career started. And beyond that, I then I then realized that there was more, and there was a world out there that I personally wanted to learn about, and a certain curiosity formed of what's out there, and that's really kind of my very beginning of my career. I then went to hotel management school in Belgium, and had an opportunity to do some internships in international hospitality programs and so forth. And that's really where I got the initial taste of living and working abroad, and in a very diverse and international environment. And then I continued after a couple of years in Brussels, really in food and beverage, in catering, in sales. I had an opportunity to do summer courses at Cornell University, and that really was kind of the jumping board to a very different world. And that's also where I met my wife, Sarah, and we embarked on an international journey together, and we both moved to Dubai actually in the mid '90s, and a very different Dubai than today. But it really allowed us to both live in a very different part of the world, and to learn from very different cultures. And that really started my journey. Beyond that, after Dubai, we moved to Indonesia. We were in Bali for a number of years, Jakarta, then moved to California, where I was in Newport Beach. Then went ahead to open Four Seasons in Maldives, and beyond that, then had an opportunity to go to Lanai, a private island in Hawaii, which was an incredible journey and a most beautiful place to live. and work before moving back to Southeast Asia and opening a hotel there. So in most of my career, really, I was involved in opening hotels, renovating hotels, repositioning hotels, and really I created that passion for service excellence and really creating very unique environments and very much very unique sense of place for guests and colleagues in each of these destinations. And all of that really prepared me for my current role here at Atlantis in Dubai, which truly I have been here now for 4 years, and just a very special and very unique location to open one an ultra luxury property and one of a kind, really, the new icon of Dubai in hospitality.
How do you go about wrapping your head over such a huge project? And it's almost like eating an elephant.
Well, it is about kind of having the right players on the team, and we more than quadrupled our team in the last 4 years here at Atlantis in Dubai, and we were actually hiring at a time where no one was hiring in the middle of COVID, really, and COVID recovery. So we were in a way somewhat fortunate that we were able to hire the best of the best in the business, to that came here to really participate in the opening of Atlantis the Royal, but also joining our team as occupancies were rising quite drastically post COVID at our original Atlantis the Palm, as well as Aquaventure, the water park we have here, which is now today the world's largest water park with over 100 slides and attractions. And it's about having the right people in the right places, and the sense of hospitality remains. It's about ultimately every day driving the great guest experience and working with people for people, and that translates in an organization with over 6,000-7,000 colleagues, versus maybe the more traditional hospitality, where you may have maybe 400 or 500 colleagues on the team. And I think it's that sense of hospitality and that hunger of delivering exceptional service really comes by having the right people in the right places that own that guest experience as well as the colleague experience as well.
So would you say your customer, quote unquote, is the guests of the hotel, or are they your employees and your team?
Both, both. I think, look, I think we have colleagues from over 100 countries working together here at Atlantis in Dubai. We have guests from over 180 countries, actually. So it's truly a very diverse environment, and we all learn from each other. We all grow and together, and as we try to understand um, the likes and dislikes and preferences of the guest today in ultra luxury hospitality, but also as we try to understand our own colleagues, and as people come from all over the world and come together to create these great guest experience here in Dubai. We also learn from them and their habits and what they're looking for in our restaurants, that we have for the staff, and as well as accommodations as well. And we all learn from each other, and it's about every day kind of taking those learnings, and growing together. And I think that's really been a fantastic journey we have been on together in the last 4 or 5 years.
Do you have a anecdotal success story of someone who you brought on board who might have had a struggle at the beginning, but then you with your guidance and support and help, and you made them flourish?
I think it's all about helping each other, right? I think we have all come from different places. Our journey um, is different, as we all grow up in hospitality industry. And I think it's important that we all realize there's been. I certainly realize that there's no matter what stage in my career, there's always been someone somewhere that said, let's give him a chance, right? And I think it's not just necessarily one person, but I think it's about sometimes being brutally honest and kind of giving the feedback that maybe you may not want to hear at a at a particular moment. But I think those truly are the moments of change, and those truly are the moments that I certainly reflect on in my career, where someone gave me the feedback, and I then had a choice to either do something about that or learn from that. And I think those learning moments certainly have been very telling in my career, and very changing, and that never stops. And I think being able now to be that person to guide and coach, and we setting the goals, but then also kind of bringing the team along, and being there together with the team to deliver and achieve and celebrate. I think is crucial to the success of any organization. But certainly in the hospitality, where it's really, it's the people business we're in.
You mentioned setting goals. How do you go about setting goals for yourself and then for your team?
Well, I think I would say it's the old setting of SMART goals. They got to be specific, they got to be measurable, they got to be attainable, they got to be realistic, they got to be timely. But I think ultimately, unless you communicate, very clearly, this is where we're going, this is where we, as an organization, as a team, are heading, and unless every single person in the team is aware of what those goals are and the direction we're going in, you may not ever reach those. And I think it truly takes a village, right? It takes every single person on the team to deliver in their moment of truth. And when I say their moment of truth, there's thousands and thousands of interactions that take place in any hospitality business, every day, between colleagues and vendors, between colleagues and guests, between guests, and so forth and so forth. From the moment someone is looking to make a reservation and picks up the phone, till the moment they arrive at the airport, till the moment they arrive at the hotel, till the moment they meet the housekeeper on the guest room floors, and so forth and so forth. And every single one of these team members needs to kind of know, where are we heading and where are we today, and that's really the only way to achieve those goals. We're very proud that very recently, actually, last week, there was the announcement of Forbes Travel Guide 5-star. For us to be able to achieve that 5-star award in our inaugural year was exceptional. But it truly took every single person on the team to be aware of where we were heading. And then we also then, kind of supported them with, the necessary trainings and so forth. You can't really come out and do mystery shop or test your services unless you have trained the team, well, and explained where you're heading. And once everybody knows the target, then they have a conscious decision to opt out, or they're opting in, and they're part of that journey and they're part of that success. So as that announcement came, we certainly celebrated with the team. And I think the journey towards excellence never stops. And whilst we celebrate, we also continuously kind of are critical of ourselves and saying, okay, how do we continuously, become better? Our guest has different demands from time to time, and how do we hold ourselves and our team accountable? And I think it really starts, from the top, and you have to be engaged. Um, and as far as I'm concerned, I have a little plaque of actually from the Reagan Library that says it can be done,
Hmm.
to remind myself, but also remind anyone on the team that anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it, as long as you kind of, day by day keep that momentum going, and things will happen. Things will fall by the wayside. But it's how we recover from that, and how we really kind of coach the team, and kind of take those moments to say, okay, how could we have done this bit differently? And let's continue, push ourselves to excellence. And that's an incredibly exciting journey.
Yeah. So where do you go from now that you have the Forbes 5-star? What other goals do you set for yourself now that you're there? Just maintaining it, or what?
Well, we've been incredibly fortunate that within our inaugural year, we were selected as the only hotel in the Middle East, actually, amongst the world's 50 best hotels. We were able to achieve several Michelin accolades with our restaurants here, with Dinner Behest and Blumenthal, Lama with Gaston Acurio, Ariana's Persian Kitchen. Um, we recently also had some additional awards with Goy Mio, and I think really for us that sets the tone. That sets the tone for us to say, well, we were very quickly able to set the tone for the industry in this part of the world, um, and for us that's now the baseline. And so many hotels are only able to achieve a Forbes Travel Guide 5-star award years after, kind of setting their mind to that. And for us to achieve that in year one is an incredible result. And really, the congratulations go to the entire team that makes this happen every day. But what it is really a recognition. All of these are just a recognition of what the team does every day with every check-in, every guest interaction, and in every guest interaction, you have the opportunity to deliver those standards that are somewhat expected in the ultra luxury hotel field. But for us, it's about intuitive service. For us, it's about surprise and delight moments. For us, it's about ensuring that we find out, the likes, dislikes, preferences from our guests during their stay, and then go above and beyond that, and deliver service that maybe the guest wasn't necessarily even thinking that they were expecting. No one expected an iPhone before it came, but then it came, and now we all want to have the iPhone, right? And we're and so it's about us continuously pushing the boundaries, um, and understanding why our guests are here. Are they celebrating here? Are they here with the family? And the itinerary may be very different for someone who's here on a family celebration versus, a honeymoon couple, or whatever the reason may be that you are visiting Atlantis. And I think it's about us playing into that, and really having that opportunity to surprise and delight and go above and beyond. And to do that at the scale we do it with having Atlantis the Palm here, the original with 1,600 rooms. We have 795 guest rooms at Atlantis the Royal. We have 50 restaurants here, and then doing that, on the scale that we do every single day. Therein lays the challenge, and it's certainly a challenge that the team is up for, and a very exciting one.
Do you have any morning routines that get you ready for the day to be able to face these ginormous challenges?
Absolutely. I get up every day, and we all get up every day, but we all have a choice, and that choice is about the attitude we have. And we either have a choice to be positive and look out to the great opportunities ahead, or we have a choice to be a little grumpy, and kind of starting the day maybe in a different mindset. And as far as I'm concerned, I always take that opportunity to go outside, no matter what the temperature is outside, but to kind of start the day outside, whether it's running, whether it's walking, whether it's kind of taking that moment for myself early morning before the day really starts. Um, and depending on the different places where I've lived, that may have taken on a different form. 10 years in Hawaii, I was out in an outrigger canoe at 5:45 in the morning, and by the time we hit back with the canoe on the beach at 7:38 in the morning, your day can just not go wrong any longer. You have just been out there, surrounded by dolphins and whales and so forth, and you have to take that time for yourself and see the beauty of the day ahead. And yes, it may bring challenges ahead, but that's the beauty of the hotel industry and the hospitality industry. There's really never a day that is alike, um, but that's the beauty of it, and really enjoying what that day may bring.
Awesome, awesome. Tell me, how do you build a culture with such a huge organization? Um, what goes into that? How do you build a culture? How do you define what culture you want, and then you know make that permeate throughout the entire team?
Well, the culture is, closely related to the brand and who you are as a company and what you stand for and so forth. And that will be different from company to company. But ultimately, I think it's important to share what those values are within the company, and then set the tone. And it's about leading by example. If we say this is who we are, then you have to set the tone and live that way and show the way. And it's about setting the stage for the team. It's about setting the expectation. We spoke about the goals, you know, earlier on. But then it's also about allowing the team to make mistakes, and that's the art of delegation, and the art of allowing the team to fly and to make mistakes. That's okay, but with it comes maybe the coaching moments, and it's about really allowing the team to perform with their personalities, but yet being held accountable for the results that we all kind of set as a team together. And it's about engaging. It's the engagement with our guests, the engagement with our colleagues never stops, and it's about being out on the floor. It's about learning. It's about direct line meetings with the team and understanding what it is that they're working through and the opportunities that they have, and how we can help them to be successful. And oftentimes it's simple things, just like asking the question, how can I help you? What is it that I can help you with? And most of the time, when you ask, the answers will be there. They will be concise, and truly the team wants to do right. And but we sometimes forget to ask those questions, and it's about ensuring that the team has everything they possibly need to be successful. And it's about, one, asking, but then two, also delivering on what you promise. And I think that can be very powerful in that regard, in day-to-day delivery, and how we engage with our team.
Can you give me a specific example of a time when that's happened, when someone on your team had a need, they asked, and then you delivered?
Well, it's an interesting topic. We embarked on the Atlas project, for example, which is all about sustainability, and here at Atlantis in Dubai. So we have obviously a water-based theme, and we have a very large water park and so forth. So all things sustainability are very close to us. We work with Earth Check, and that is an ongoing process to keep ourselves in check and to grow and to every day and every year get better. And oftentimes when we have town halls, for example, our team themselves, when you open the floor and you ask your team, hey, what can we do better? And oftentimes, feedback, particularly about sustainability or about how we can serve the guests better, or no matter what the topic may be, the team will tell you, and then we have to deliver, right? So one of the things a number of years ago was around single-use plastic, and based on one of the recommendations for our team members, we started a bottling plant. And now for all of our guest rooms at Atlantis, the Palm, for all of our heart of house functions and so forth, in our buffet restaurants, we have bottled water, the artisan water here from Atlantis, and we're now expanding that also at Atlantis the Royal. When we opened Atlantis the Royal, we automatically said there will be no single-use plastic as part of as part of the protocol and services here at the hotel. But now we're in that next stage where we will also have our own very specific Atlantis Royal bottle and so forth. And it's our team really who came up with that and said, hey, why don't we do this? And we said, why not? And so and we made it happen. And I think there is so many examples here of that, whether it's related to guest service or arrival experience or um, restaurant or pool and beach experiences, to special events, to small touches in terms of how every day we can deliver a better guest experience, comes from our team. And it's about, listening to the team and then bringing them along on the journey in terms of where we are at. The bottling plant did not get built in a day, but we certainly have delivered and continue those conversations with the team.
So it's about keeping a pulse on things and really being open to feedback and keeping the dialogue going with your team.
Absolutely, every day, every day.
Tell me about your favorite guest success story where
You
you
know,
delivered exceptional service and magic happened.
there is so many, and I think oftentimes it is those moments where I would say where um, a guest has been on a journey or started on a journey whereby uh, maybe there was a snowstorm where they were flying from, and then the flights were delayed or canceled, and by the time the guests arrive at the hotel, they just had a rough start, let's say. And I think those moments, really where the team can deliver and kind of learn about those moments and turn that around and really kind of show that great sense of hospitality and saying, okay, you have arrived, allow us now to take care of you, and kind of take all of those worries away and turn these moments around. There is many stories in hospitality around, and certainly we see it here every day, whereby the team has those moments where something happens that may not be the most fun moments. Someone lost their passport, or but it's at those moments where truly the team has an opportunity to assist with diplomatic missions or whatever it may be, to really turn those situations around and saying, do not worry, you are our guest, allow us to help you with this and deliver. And here we are coming up with a new passport, right? And I think those are the moments of truth that create lifelong ambassadors by guests, because they felt at home and they felt that we really embraced the guest in a maybe a difficult moment, and we're able to turn these moments around. and it's about making the in some cases it's about making the impossible possible, and you know um, it's about um, creating the dreams and creating those memories. We recently had just a beautiful moment whereby we had um, a celebrity tennis player staying with us, and we had right next to on the next tennis court, we had a very young child and who was just in awe of who's playing over at the next tennis court, and um, and the next morning they played together and they opened the tennis courts together, and here was the tennis player playing with this young child, and those are memories that cannot be erased, and to be part of that and to create those very special moments is unique in hospitality, and that makes all the difference.
Yeah, that's definitely something you couldn't have predicted or created from, it's so that's very cool. And that child will definitely remember that moment for the rest of their life and where that moment happened.
Correct, absolutely, absolutely.
How do you look into the future of hospitality? How do you stay abreast of you know upcoming trends, and what's your prediction for where the luxury market's going in the next 5 years?
I think true sense of luxury is becoming more and more important, and as well as intuitive service. And I think what happened during the COVID period is as we came out of it, there was many services that were maybe eliminated in certain places. There was certainly kind of we came out with a very different outlook on on hospitality. What we have noticed here, however, is that there is quite the demand for the ultra luxury service and hospitality, and we certainly see Dubai as a destination going from strength to strength. We certainly are with Atlantis the Royal, that very new iconic new structure from an architectural point of view, and really that one of a kind property. But ultimately, it's about great service. It's about the ultimate in service excellence, and that comes with setting the expectations and then really allowing the team to go above and beyond in every single one of these interactions they have with the guest. We certainly see that within year one, we were very proud and very excited about the results in year one. And what's most exciting actually is that we already have guests that have been on their fourth visit with us, and I think that talks to certainly the demand for great service and for intuitive service, and guests who have identified that you have when you have great offerings from an accommodation point of view, and you combine that with great entertainment options, with great dining options. We have the largest collection of celebrity chef restaurants anywhere on the planet, right here at Atlantis in Dubai. And it's about really kind of being able to provide multiple itineraries for our guests, and I certainly see that continuing. I see the interest from our audience in great service, and whilst maybe there has been some erosion in certain parts of service and hospitality, there certainly is the surge of demand as well in terms of delivering the very opposite in the that ultimate in guest experience. And our guests today have seen everything. They have been everywhere. So it's about really about that intuitive service and those surprise and delight moments, because you have great accommodations, and that's really what's the expectation. But then it's about really kind of working with the team, and I think that will not stop. I think if anything, there that will grow in the future.
So the personal connection is paramount, is what I'm hearing.
It's the human connection. I think it's the human connection. It's about, the empathy. It's about really getting understanding that guest, and really um, uh, delivering against what that guest is here to enjoy, or is looking for, and then
Awesome.
going above and beyond when you have those opportunities. Absolutely.
And delivering on what you hear, basically. Awesome. Are there any topics that you feel the hospitality world would like to hear about from Tom that we haven't covered yet?
I would say the growth and development of colleagues in the industry. As I travel, as I speak to many industry leaders, we continuously hear the question, um, "Oh, how hard is it to find staff? How hard is it um, to engage, people around the world to enter the hospitality industry, and to make a career in hospitality?" We're very fortunate here in Dubai, whereby we hire people from around the world, right? So that we have such a diverse team, and we really align our language skills, for example, with where our guests are coming from and so forth, so we can serve our guests in the languages from the places where they're from, and really kind of do an effort in many ways to deliver the food expectations, the language expectations, and so forth and so forth. Um, but I think really, looking back at my own journey, I think it's an incredible career, an incredible opportunity to, if you want to travel the world, um, if you uh, if you want to connect with different cultures, it's really an incredible industry. And I think oftentimes we forget that we also started somewhere. I started when I was 14, 15 years old, out at the pot wash, and I think it's about really um, working together with that next generation, and explaining the many options they have within a career in hospitality, because in hospitality is not only the culinary world. It's not only um, the front office and the welcoming component. You can make great careers in hospitality, in finance, in marketing, in sales. There are so many careers that one can have whilst traveling the world, whilst learning from other cultures, learning from other people, and so forth. And it certainly is is an opportunity for us to connect with that next generation, and be part of their growth, their development, and understanding what's important for them, and how can we also deliver on that, within their frame of mind.
So how do you balance bringing in new talent versus developing your current talent?
Well, we more than quadrupled our team in the last 4 years, as we were opening the new Atlantis, the Royal, as we were expanding Aquaventure, and saw the growth of business also at Atlantis, the Palm. And so for us, we certainly have a big focus on learning and development of our team. Um, and we have a 5-day orientation that's all about who we are at Atlantis, and how we prepare our team members to enter our organization. But then it's also an on-the-job training, within the various departments, and how we welcome them and maybe buddy them up um, with the departmental trainers, and so forth. And then how do we train the standards of those departments, how we allow them to kind of grow and start flying, you know, in by themselves, go solo, and with that buddy and that, you know, partner that brings them along on that journey. It's the coaching and that takes place with the departmental leaders. But I think it's also about, you know, growing the team from within. And there's, you know, we have very strong um, service trainings where we either have our own leaders that are part of those learnings. We have departmental trainers. We have divisional trainers. We work with third parties such as Forbes Travel Guide. We currently are, for example, having an exceptional butler training that's taking place with our butlers, which is a 3-week immersion in butler life, and really providing that ultimate of butler service, where we take the team out entirely of the operation and really immerse themselves in that ultra luxury service. And so it takes all of the above every single day to kind of keep growing. We have promoted over 750 colleagues in the past few months, and it's about really kind of engaging with the team and understanding their development journey, you know, and if they are, you know, for example, a cocktail waiter and want to become a really good cocktail waiter, how do we get them there? How do we help them? And it's always a two-way street, right? It's about that colleague knowing that we are investing in the colleague, but also the colleague investing in himself or herself. And, you know, we complement that with online trainings. We complement that with development programs, whereby, you know, we always kind of have those opportunities to better ourselves and grow, whether it's in the role we have or upwards or sideways within the organization through training opportunities, to cross-training opportunities in other departments, and so forth. So assistant manager programs. I mean, there is, you know, many different ways and programs that allow us to keep growing our team, and that translates into great loyalty. I mean, we had 2 days ago our loyalty award night, and it was really heartwarming to see the very large number of team members that have been here at Atlantis since day one, 15 years ago, and where they have just made exceptional careers within the organization, and that is just, you know, very exciting and heartwarming to see.
Yeah, you must be doing something right there if they're staying for 15 years.
Absolutely, it becomes more and more rare in different parts of the world.
Yes, yes. Well, Tom, thank you so much for your time today. This has been outstanding. Really enjoyed this conversation and getting to dive a little bit deeper into your mind and into the Atlantis.
Well, it's a true pleasure, Brandon, to be part of this, and I'm looking forward to connecting soon again and to being of service. I think that's what it's all about. That's who we are, and we live and breathe service, and it's an incredible joy to create those memories.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your evening over there in Dubai, and yeah, episode 1.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Brandon.
See
Have
ya.
a wonderful evening. Thank you. Bye bye now.
Bye, Tom.